Cheers.
Okay, welcome to my next episode of Sweat Equity, where we talk all things entrepreneurship. And today's guest is going to be Suzy. Suzy is a mom, a avid mountain biker, former weightlifter, an amazing painter, a great hairstylist, a makeup artist, and a 2024 Emmy winner. So welcome, Suzy, to the show.
Hi.
So let's set the stage. Why I thought today you'd be a great guest is because I've known you for a little while, but also you had this amazing journey and you just won an Emmy, which is crazy. I don't know anyone that had won an Emmy before, so you're the first. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? For the people
Oops, I just touched the mic. I'm not good at this. Well, my name's Suzy. I grew up in Edmonton, Alberta. I'm a prairie girl. And I started my hair styling career in 2004. So I've been doing hair for 20 years, which makes me look really old. And I did hair for about 7 years, and then I always wanted to do makeup effects. But my parents were like, "You're too young. We don't want you to move." So I did hair for 7 years, and then I was like, you know what? I still want to do makeup. So I moved here in 2008 and went to Vancouver Film School, which specializes in prosthetic makeup design. Because I didn't really want to do the beauty thing. I mean, I did it, but I was...
So you went to Vancouver Film School.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty hard to get into? Like I remember, I like film a lot, and Vancouver Film School is a pretty well-known film. It is
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's hard to get into because it's private school. So if you've got the money, you'll get in.
Did it cost a lot?
Yes, it costs a lot. So I took out a student loan, and then I had a bit of help for tuition with from my grandma. But yeah, basically I just sold my soul and moved here and just survived on cans of tuna and rice cakes for like 5 years. And cheap box wine. And then and
No more box wine though.
No more box wine for me. No more box wine. But yeah, I went to school for makeup design, and then I worked part-time in a salon and tried to kind of like work and make money to pay my bills, and then take work in film as much as I could. But it's a hard...
Well, before we deep dive into that, how long have we known each other? Let's think back on that.
Fuck.
Can you remember? Probably from the gym.
Probably, I think maybe 2017.
Yeah.
No, I think it was before that.
Really? So longer than that. I know we know each other well, but sometimes I don't think about it until I talk about it. So it's funny.
2015, maybe, that we met.
Before the gym opened?
Oh no, when did you open the gym?
We opened the gym in 2016.
Okay,
so 2017.
So how many years is that?
Well, 27, we opened the gym in 2016, so that's, 8 years or 7 years.
Whoa, that's wild.
Time's wise. Cheers to friendships, right?
Wild. Who would have known? Who would have thought?
I know. That's why it's so interesting. Okay, I got one question. Tell us something that people don't know about you, or that, that people might not think.
Like in
anything. Doesn't have to be.
People don't know about me. Well, I'm really introverted, actually, which you would never know.
That's very interesting because you work at a salon and maybe not makeup, but salon. We're going to talk about that. A lot of chatter happens when you're in the studio.
I call myself extroverted by trade because...
So that draws it all out of you.
Yeah.
See, like I'm an extrovert.
You are.
So like the trade is an extension of me. Like me doing the real estate thing.
It probably fills you up.
It does.
Yeah. Whereas me, I'm like, I remember when I first started dating my partner, he didn't understand. When I got home from work, I was like, do not talk to me.
Yeah.
I need to stare at the wall in silence. Sometimes I drive home without music, and I just because I'm so introverted.
Actually, that's funny because I always had to have something on in the car. Like I'm always,
Opposite, I'm like, I need fucking sensory deprivation.
I'm like, I gotta find a podcast I want to listen to, or like some music that I want.
Oh, no.
That's
no,
funny.
complete silence. So yeah, I think that would surprise people
That's funny.
because I seem extroverted.
Yeah.
Really not.
Going back to your childhood, like, were you always like artistic? Were you always like, into that kind of hair and makeup? Like,
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I remember when I don't remember this, but my mom told me that by the time I was 5, I told my mom, you're not allowed to do my hair anymore.
oh my God.
And she's like, why can't I do your hair? And I was like, well, you can't do what I am envisioning. Like I wanted like one side flipped in, one side flipped out, or like these extravagant hairstyles. And she couldn't do it. So I was like, you can't do my hair anymore. And my mom said I would spend hours in the morning
Really?
trying to fixate these weird, wacky styles.
That's
And then
so interesting.
even when I played with Barbies when I was a kid, my mom said I didn't actually play with the Barbies. They never had clothes on. I just did their hair.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you were always kind of into that.
I guess.
See, that's interesting because one of the reasons I'm doing this podcast is like, because I want to know how people got to where they get into, like, opening a business and finding their passion, right?
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because same thing with me. When I was young, I didn't realize this until I started the gym and the other businesses, that I was always entrepreneurial, because when I was talking about it, I used to like buy and sell hockey cards. I was always at high school, I would like make parties and buy booze, get my older cousin to get booze, and I would have a bar and I would sell booze, my own parties that I made. Like I was always doing things like that. Like, so I didn't realize that, like, my parents weren't like, oh, you should go into business. They're just like, oh, he's just doing some.
He's going to do what he wants to.
Yeah. And like, another thing I did was like, I would have casino night in my garage and I would be the house. So I would take the rake. Like I'd get like 2% of every fund.
God, that's unreal.
Yeah. So like, I didn't realize that till like later on. I think back, I'm like, oh man, I was always like kind of on. Yeah. I was always hustling. So like, I wish my parents were more like, hey, you should have leaned into that.
Yeah.
But, Asian parents, but I was not your typical Asian kid anyway.
You weren't. No.
But, they always want you to go to school and do all that stuff. But I was always going to go my own way. Right?
And you never went to school for
No.
Like, that's so cool.
I mean, I always tell my friends, I'm the dumbest smart guy I know. Like, I don't have any degrees. I don't have any, like, I went to college for a bit, like for like a year and a half, but I don't have, like.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, in this world, how everyone has a bachelor's degree now or something like that.
Have something.
But this is one of the reasons why this podcast is cool, because I want to talk about, like, you don't need a degree to be successful. Not saying a degree doesn't help you if you want to do certain things.
Yeah.
But how many people do you know that have degrees and they're working a job that's completely different and not
don't
even
like it?
That's right.
Yeah.
So.
And then there's people like me where it's like I had to go to school to learn what I want
your
to do.
craft.
But I was like the bad kid. Like I'd like skip the school. I'd show up like
You would be the bad kid.
Stoned. Oh yeah. Like I was like such a bad kid, and I was like a bad student according to the teachers, but I always got honors. I always was the top. I was like the highest achievement.
So okay, so you were at least good at school.
I was good.
You just didn't go to it.
But I didn't apply myself. So it's like, if you're passionate, that's what I think. I was like so passionate about it that it was like I didn't even have to really try, because I just knew this is what I'm doing. And like I had my heart, like even when I was a little girl, my mom would, when I'd go to walk to the Blockbuster.
Yeah.
The Blockbuster for you young folks that
Blockbuster's
don't know.
It's gonna come back in.
It's better. I'd go to Blockbuster. My mom would have to wait at the phone, because I would be renting horror movies at like 7, 8, 9 years old. And
they called them in. Yeah.
Daughter wants to rent Razor. Like, are you okay with this? And she'd have to say yes, because that's all I wanted to watch. Because I just,
I could see that now.
Yeah, because I just wanted to watch horror. Like that's all I was interested in. I'm like, this is so cool.
That's so funny. Okay, so clearly it was there in the beginning. Now, so when you did the hair and then you want to do the makeup, tell me how that transpired as you're like getting your career going on that. So you finished film school, right?
So I finished film school
for prosthetics and stuff, right?
Yeah. And then it's a fucking hard industry to get into. Like,
Yeah, tell us about that because, maybe some people want to know.
Yeah. So I guess,
Because I don't know anything about the film. Like, I love film, I love movies, but I don't know anything about that industry.
Yeah.
So
you have to get your membership in the union in order to get IATSE shows, which is the union that films here. There's two unions, but that's the big one. And in order to even apply for permittee membership, which is like you're not full membership, you have to like get permittee and then work a certain number of days and then apply, and you have to take a test and all this stuff. But in order to even get the permittee application done, you have to work, I don't know if it's changed, but I think it was like 100 credit.
yeah.
And so each credit was like a commercial or a show, like a Hallmark show or whatever.
Yeah, so you got to put in that work before
you got it. Yeah.
have a
So it took me probably, I don't even know, maybe 5-6 years to get into the union. And the only reason I got in so fast was because I was a hairdresser. So I did hair on set. And then I got my membership through the hair department. And then I kind of backdoored into the makeup effects. So yeah, it's for anyone that wants to get into film and especially makeup effects, because it's one of the most competitive departments.
Really?
Yeah, it's really small. So I think camera is the most competitive and directing and writing, above the line kind of people. And then makeup effects, I would say, would be the hardest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's probably only like 80 members.
Oh, like the full one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And like not many of those people work. Like there's a good, like a tight crew of us people that always have jobs.
Oh, wow.
And then there's people that just kind of fill in.
Yeah. So like once they get it, if they need work, they can just like, hey, you're not showing up today, they can fill in or something.
Yeah. So it's like, it goes by seniority too. So like I have more seniority, so they'll call me over somebody that's not new.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to get in, and then it's hard to get a name for yourself.
Which you have done now, which we're going to talk about that.
Done.
But what about that? That's your makeup. What about your hair? How did you do your hair and then all of a sudden open up Casa Hair, which we're her salon right now, actually?
Casa Hair. God, that was hard. Actually,
right?
So
yeah, how did you decide to take this step? Because were you probably usually at a salon renting a chair or something? Yeah. That's a normal progress.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I was like a commission salon first. And then when I got enough clients, I started chair renting. And then I was chair renting, and I remember COVID had hit, and obviously everything shut down. And then when we were getting like a gradual return to the salon, I actually had gotten a settlement from a car accident.
Okay.
So I had this money, and I was like, well, if I don't invest this or do anything with it, I'm going to spend it. Like, it wasn't much money, right? Yeah. So I was thinking, like, I love working in film, but like the hours are really hard, and I want to be able to just have a space I can come and go to, and it's mine, and I don't have to like try and be like, can I work this day? Can I work this day? And like, just be so like jump around all the time with like my bosses. So me and my partner, Natalie, she had car accident settlement too.
Okay.
So we were both like, we have all this money. What do we do with it? And then this place was actually for lease, and it was so cheap because of COVID, because no one was buying.
Smart.
Yeah,
you're right. So the timing was right, but you also were thinking of taking that leap of like you had your makeup work, and you enjoyed it, of course, but the hours are grueling because industry is different, right? And then now that you're a family,
like really up and down.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So I was like, I just need something that's very stable, that I can like, it's my bread and butter, and then like my passion could be doing film. Yeah. And it's nice though, because I can work full time on a show and just come and go as I please here.
Yeah, it's true, because the hours could be nights, so you could come here and do a couple if you need to.
Or I can just work Saturday, Sunday, because I never work Saturday, Sunday.
So
film.
So you chose your own career because for the hair salon, because the hours can be all over.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I can just come in, I can just be like, hey, you want to come in at this time? It's my place.
Yeah, you're your own boss.
I could work at 10 p.m. if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's true.
It's awesome. It's hard though. Like,
I mean, owning any business is hard. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure.
Especially in Vancouver.
There's ups and downs, right? Like when you first started, like what was one of the hardest things just kind of for you to get started?
I found it really difficult to, like, I'm still building a clientele 4 years later, because it's hard. It's hard. It's like a double-edged sword. It's like,
Yeah.
I want to build my clientele, but then I'm like, oh, I got this gig. Like when I took Shogun, for example, I'm
Yeah.
like, this is a huge show. It's like an awesome opportunity. I can't say no to it. And it was pretty full time.
Yeah. So that would hinder your business here because it's you, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, and then also with film, it's like, oh, you want to work this day. And then it's like, just kidding, last minute, the day before, they're like, just kidding, it changed to this day. So I've been really grateful that I have clients that are really flexible and they really trust me and they want to come see me. So they're like, don't worry about it. Whatever you can do. Like if you need to move my appointment, that's fine. Like
That's really good.
I have lost a lot of clients.
For sure. And this is the thing about being an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
That's, and especially with you with two different businesses that you have, right?
Yeah.
Doing the makeup and then running your own salon.
It's
So that's I wanted to chat. So what are your next things like for the salon? Like what's your plans?
Well, we just got a chair renter, so that's been really good. So that pays for a portion of our rent, which is great. So then now I'm not like just kind of doing that rat.
Because it's you, and if you have to work a show,
Yeah.
you're not here and there's no money being made, right?
Exactly.
Well, at least now you got someone else at least giving you something.
It's some
Well,
kind of
great.
income. I know.
Yeah, so you're slowly scaling your business. Right?
Yeah. So like hopefully we could get another chair renter that's part-time and they could share, and then that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would pay all of our rent.
Exactly.
So, but
So it's good. You're fine-tuning your business as you go.
yeah.
Like, like I say, same with me. You learn things and you're like, hopefully some things work, sometimes things don't.
Yeah.
Then you try to make it better and easier on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's your own and you're here every day, you can only do so much.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the same thing with the gym when I was doing. When we remember we were there every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Every
but then
single day.
as you build and scale your business, you have to give certain things up to get certain things.
Exactly.
Right. And that there's a double-edged sword for that too, because
it's a gamble.
it
too.
is, because one thing I do miss a lot about being at the gym all the time is I used to know everybody, right? Same thing probably for you, right? But as you scale, say maybe you rent some more chairs, or now I have someone coaching or running, because I get some time to do other things.
Yeah.
You take a bigger picture, but you miss the people, because
Yeah.
I do like the interaction of the people.
Well, you're so extroverted, and it's about like, that's what I loved about Dynasty Gym was like the community aspect. Like, I love weightlifting and I would do it if I didn't have body issues, but it was a community. Like I met some of my best friends, like you, like Vivian, Hannah, Patrick, like so many good people from that gym. A lot of them are my clients. So
there you go, right? But that's the thing though, when you scale, you have to it sucks, but it changes the dynamics. Sometimes because you have to grow. Like say you want to have more time, you can't be here every day.
I know.
But that's what you have to kind of do, right?
Yeah.
For the better of the business.
Exactly.
And yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What is success for you? For just your general businesses? Like how do you feel? Do you feel like you are successful, or there's still something you're trying to get to?
It's a funny question, because when I won the Emmy, I didn't react the way I thought I would. Like, I think I have a bit of imposter syndrome, which is very common for entrepreneurs, actually. Because
I mean, I wish I won an Emmy. I wouldn't impose. It'd be everywhere. That's right. Yeah, I'm the opposite. Sometimes I think like if I got something like that, or someone's like, "Hey, I'd be like, oh yeah, finally, that's about time, right?"
I mean, it's funny because in the back of my head, I'm like, fucking finally, like I worked my ass off, and I've been working for 15 years, like trying to make this work. And finally it happens. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, I deserve this. I worked hard and I know that I am talented, and, I know that I'm good. Yeah. But then this part of me says like, you're not good enough. You're not like, you don't deserve this. You're never going to be like that. Like, it's kind of like, I think it's kind of a good thing in a way, because like in that entrepreneur mindset that we have just ingrained in us is like, okay, what's next? That wasn't good enough. Now I need.
I know. It's a good and a bad. We didn't talk about your Emmy experience, so I want to hear all about that. Okay. But I want to see the Emmy.
Okay.
Woo! I mean, hey, you got to hold an award here.
Because my client after you is a friend of mine, and she's like, "Can you bring your Emmy for show and tell?"
You got to.
I have a picture of Harlow with it.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Okay, first of all, it came in like a coffin, which is fucking awesome. I'm waiting for the engravement.
Oh, what? So, they're going to send you a tag for it?
Yeah, they have like,
Oh, that's
like
sweet.
bolt on.
Oh my God.
It's heavy, dude.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it heavy?
So cool. Okay, so
Right?
so tell me about your experience. So tell me like how you found out and the whole you got there and all that. Let's
Well, okay, so I've worked on lots of shows where we've put ourselves forward
That's
for a
right.
nomination. So you have to put yourself forward, and the company, effects and Disney, they'll back you up. But they were really pushing for people to come forward. So we had to write essays. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
I had to write a 150-word essay. I mean, I don't know how to write an essay, so it was basically like a grocery list.
Chat GPT. But I'm just saying.
I'm a creative person.
That's true. That's true.
So, yeah, I had to write an essay saying like what my involvement was in the film, what our particular things we did for the makeups, and then they call it for your consideration. So you put it for
So you send it in
consideration,
and then you wait.
nomination.
Yeah, and then you wait.
Wait, and then there's a voting round. So the TV Academy, which consists of other Emmy winners,
Yeah.
and I think other people that are part of the Academy that maybe haven't won Emmys but have a good roster and
Yeah.
really good resume. You have to apply for it.
Yeah.
So
So you got nominated?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they voted.
So you hear about it?
I got nominated. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Like, wow. But then I saw like all the other people that were.
So who were nominated in your category?
So Fallout, the show.
Oh yeah, Fallout.
And the guy.
It's good makeup because I watched that show.
No. And
Ghoul, the Ghoul.
hero.
The
Yeah,
Ghoul.
The Ghoul. That guy's my hero, Vincent Van Dyke. He's like I idolize his work.
Weird.
So him. Then it was a Star Wars show,
Okay.
which also was amazing makeup. True Detective, and Fallout, True Detective, Star Wars. I think I'm missing him.
Okay. And you, Shogun.
And us. And when I saw the nominees, I'm like, oh, we're not.
I know.
There's no way.
I remember you kind of telling me, like,
A Fallout. I thought,
because you're saying your makeup was very subtle,
yeah,
like very well done
Yeah.
because you did a lot of stuff, but it's not like
a Ghoul.
a Ghoul where it's like you can really see it, right?
That's a cool bird
Yeah.
makeup where it was like most of our makeups were they were called nakazoris, and it's what the Japanese used to do. The warriors, they'd shave the top of their head to keep them cool under their helmets when they went to war.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. So they'd have their hair, and then the ponytails were about status. So it depended what kind of. Did you notice how some people had different? Some people had ponytails that
Yes.
some were, yeah. So and then some people didn't shave their head. So it was all about a status thing.
Ah, okay. So that tells you a lot about them.
Yeah, because the main dude didn't shave his head.
Yes.
I forget his name, but anyway. So yeah, our makeup consisted of doing a bald cap to make it look like they shaved their head, so it had to look real.
Yeah.
Like,
I couldn't tell
yeah, thank
because I watched the show. So
you. Yeah, most people were like, "What did you even do on that?"
yeah. Well, that means you did a good job.
But I thought that like because of that, we didn't have a chance of winning. Because other than that, we just did leprosy, a guy
Yeah.
with leprosy, and old age makeup, and then all the seppuku
Yeah.
all the blood booths
Yeah.
when they squirt blood everywhere. But other than that, like it was pretty realistic. So I was like, "There's no way we're gonna." And we're like Canadian girls. Like these guys are from LA.
Yeah, like big time guys.
Like
Yeah.
one of the UK guys was it was The Witcher. That's what.
Oh yeah, The Witcher. Yeah.
That guy is like a 5-time Emmy nominating or Emmy winning makeup effects artist.
So okay, so now that you heard this, you're like, okay, we're nominated. How does the rest of the process go? Like, did you go to the Emmys? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I had to get a dress. I had to book a flight, get there, and then we went, and it was wild
Because there's one thing you told me that's cool because I didn't know this. There's 2 Emmys. So you can tell me this. Like I didn't know this.
Yeah, so there's the Creative Arts Emmys, which is us. It's like I like to call it people below the line. So it's like anyone from like cinematography. So anyone from like stunts, costume, makeup, hair,
Yeah.
all that stuff. That's a creative arts Emmys, and there's 2 days. So the first day is like reality television
Oh,
and like contest shows,
okay.
like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And then the second day is TV.
You guys.
So Emmys is TV, Oscars is movies.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know that, I had to be educated.
Okay. Come on.
I was like, what's between an Academy Award and an Oscar? I don't know. Anyway, and then the real Emmys that were broadcast on television is like for writing, acting, directing, cinematography.
Top of the line.
Yeah. Top.
Okay, so tell me the moment leading up to like how you found out you won. Like that's so cool.
Oh, okay. So it was wild because like Shogun was all sat together in this huge section, right? All the shows were kind of seated together.
Is it in that the theater or wherever they have it at? That Okay. Cool.
It was cool. It had like this big giant
red carpet. They did the full thing. Sweet. I was just curious, right? Like
a red carpet. It was like
wow.
Oh, it was wild.
Yeah, it's like you were what you see on TV.
Like I saw like famous people there. I was like, oh my God, like there's like Sarah Paulson, there's Kristen Wiig, there's like so many people that I was like, oh my God, what? Like I'm here with these people.
Love.
And then as they kept going through the categories, when you win, you go up, you accept your award. There's one person that speaks for the group.
Yeah.
And then you get taken backstage. And so each time a category won, everybody was empty in their seat.
Yeah, okay.
And we were last. So it was like costumes.
Oh, okay. Makeup was
everybody was like leaving because they were all winning. So I was like, every single department that got nominated for Shogun won. So by the time it came to us, it was all of us.
Oh, really? Sitting by yourself. So you guys are like, fuck, everyone would have won. And you're like,
we're gonna win. And this sucks because like everybody's gonna win.
So that's a party, like
yeah, just two people like.
Oh, sorry, Suzy. Like,
and they called. They're like, and the winner is Shogun. I freaked out. I like jumped out of my chair. I was like bawling. And you walk down this carpet and there's all
well, it was only you two, so
yeah, because our boss couldn't make it.
So who smoked?
My boss.
Okay,
Bree.
got it.
And so she was the one that had the show. So she spoke, thank God, because I got up there and I went like this.
Cool.
You hold it.
Okay, I am.
I had too much time with that. And then when you go backstage, they have a little camera set up and they're like, you can do an interview for your friends and family, say whatever you want to say. But I was absolutely ugly crying.
Oh.
And my knees were buckling.
Because I'm like, I haven't seen that. I can't remember. Like,
my knees were buckling. Like,
wow.
Stand. She's like, do you want some water and Kleenex? I'm like, yeah. And then I composed myself, did the little interview, and then they take you backstage and there's this red carpet that like goes up a ramp and it's this and then back down. And then in front of you is like 40 people with cameras.
Really? Full thing, the full show. That's awesome. I love how it's a full thing, even though, like, you're not seen as much on the top line, which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So we had to line up and we had to, like, take a step, pose. Yeah. Take a step, pose. And I was holding it like, I was like this. And the photographers kept going, wings out, wings out. I'm like, what? What's wings out? And they're like, this.
Yeah.
So this is the way you have to hold
it. Okay. Hey.
Just so y'all know, for the red carpet, wings out.
Wings out.
Wings out.
Oh, I love it. I'm wings out right now. That's so cool. Okay, so then you do all that?
You do all this paparazzi stuff. They take you back. You get your Emmy. You get to sign your little thing. And then,
is there like an after party or?
And then there was a gala afterwards, where they had like food, open bar, like a live band, a party.
Cool.
Yeah, so cool.
So just with all your coworkers and like
all like it was so. Because the Shogun also had a section.
Yeah, but you guys all on
the table was like Emmy. There was like, because we just dominated.
Yeah.
We actually broke a record. We beat Game of Thrones.
Wow. Whoa, really?
Yeah, Shogun beat Game of Thrones in the first night. There's 3 nights of the Emmys. And we beat them in the first night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I know it got critically acclaimed, but like, and there's a second season that's coming now.
In Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that must have been wild.
It was wild. Yeah.
So now you're a one-time Emmy Award winner, possibly more to come.
I get an Oscar now.
Did the movies?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
we get a
movies.
movie. Got to get a movie.
Wow.
I got to get a little trophy case.
Well, that is a great story that I thought I'd like to share. That's why I wanted to interview you.
Yes.
That's so cool because I'm holding an Emmy.
I know.
Now we come to the last portion of the podcast here. We're called Give Me What You Got. And what I do is I just ask you some questions. And you just answer quickly.
Okay.
That's all it is. Okay. So we'll start. It's easy. It's like very easy.
Okay.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Most important tool for your profession?
Scissors.
Favorite show or movie you worked on?
True. Yellow Jackets.
Okay.
Sorry, Shogun.
Most famous celebrity you worked with?
Kristen Wiig.
Okay. Best hair tip?
Don't wash your hair too much. Like, stop washing your hair every day.
From the stylist. What's your theme song?
Oh, dear. God, can we come back to that one?
We can pass that one.
Okay, we'll pass it. Fuck that one.
You like that one? Okay. One last thing. What tip would you give to someone aspiring to be an entrepreneur or kind of in the makeup industry?
For the makeup industry, don't give up. Remain humble. Ask lots of questions. Like, if you don't have an ego and you're willing to learn, like I'm learning every day. I learn from people every day. And so just continuing education, always ask for help. Just be humble and be nice to everybody and just like, yeah, just
Grind.
grind and stay grounded and yeah, don't be an asshole, basically.
So what's next for Suzy and Casa Hair?
Well, now that I have a baby, I'm focusing more on Casa Hair. I am still doing film, but because the hours are just so tough, I'm just looking to expand and I've been doing a lot more actors' hair. So I've been working with productions on getting celebrities in here.
Oh, wow.
So
Awesome.
I'm kind of working towards being like a celebrity hairstylist.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Like I want to still do film and I'd love to, but yeah, that's my goal now is to like get an Oscar and be a celebrity hairstylist.
Hell yeah.
Those are my goals.
Okay, so where can we find Suzy? What do you do so people can connect with you and maybe come see you as well?
Casa Hair. It is on the lovely Gastown.
I'll post a
Vancouver.
link and everything on there.
Thank you. Yeah. 20 East Cordova Street. It's a tiny little space with there's 3 of us here. And I have an Instagram. It's Suzy Shears. It's right here. I don't know if you can see.
Well, I'll post all that.
Suzy Shears. Yeah. And then I guess that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, that was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Close up of the Emmy.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Woo!